Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So what is this? This is Dirty Bomb. Now this is quite an oldish game, but why am I looking at this? Well, obviously what with the lockdown going on at the moment, and I hope you're all safe. I've been kind of digging through my back catalogue in Steam. So I hadn't played this in a while, and I thought that's a bit strange because this is the game that I first started streaming quite heavily over on Twitch back in 2016. This thing's been out since 2015 approximately. It used to go by the name of Extraction. Actually originally started as Dirty Bomb, then it changed its name to Extraction, and then back again. It was published by Splash Damage, and what it is basically an objective-based shooter, well, team-based objective-based shooter. So think along the lines of, say, an Overwatch, even a Counter-Strike. So what's happened? Well, the premise of the story is Dirty Bomb has been set off in London, everyone's been evacuated, and now you've got this government agency called CDA, I believe, going in and trying to clean stuff up, and now to sort of counteract that, you've got a criminal agency who basically are there to steal their tech. Who are they going to do this for them? They've hired a whole bunch of mercenaries, and there was a whole roster of about 23 or so mercenaries that you could pick to play a role, and the roles were medics, engineers, snipers, etc, etc. Right, so when playing the game you'd be plopped into one of the two available teams and you'd have the choice of taking 3 mercenaries with you. Every time you got shot you could then just switch to a different class. So the thing to do would be have a decent spread. I would always go in with at least an engineer and a medic. I would also take an artillery guy with me because they would give out ammo. The thing I never used were the snipers because quite frankly this was a very fast paced game and you needed to have a lot of bullets travelling downwind. That's the way I played it. Snipers take one shot every so many seconds, whereas this kind of was more, it was the bullet ratio I think counted a lot more. Anyway, at least that's how I played the game. Plus, I hate snipers. Anyway, so the game was packed full of like really nice little features, like you could help your teammates up if they hadn't been killed. Like if they were downed, you could give them a hand. Obviously medics could do this quicker. Every merc had 2 weapons, a main and a secondary. They also had a special skill and gadget. For example, if you look at the video, you'll notice I'm playing an engineer. My gadget was a turret and my special skill is I do repairs or activate, deactivate bombs quickly. Now, apart from having a humongous roster of mercenaries, the game was kind of strange in the fact that it was very, very fast paced, but it was coupled with a long TTK, which did take some getting used to. However, I did find myself playing Dirty Bomb just for the practice. If I played Dirty Bomb first and then I went off and played some other shooter, I found that I was downing other players a lot more easily. Maybe that's just psychological and it wasn't that easy, but it did seem incredibly hard to do that in Dirty Bomb. And not only did you have to down them first, you had to do a finishing move as well, whether that be a bullet to the head or a cricket bat. Because, oh yeah, I just realised, you also got melee weapons. As for game modes, there were a couple. One was called Objective. Basically, one team attacked, the other defended, with the objective usually being something that either needed to be blown up or stolen. The other main game mode was called Stopwatch and was just a rehash of the objective mode, with both teams just taking a turn to see who could meet that objective quicker. Now there was a third mode called Execution, and that was probably the most similar to Counter-Strike, i.e. you had 2 teams competing over 12 rounds, trying to either eliminate all the enemy players, bomb one of the objectives, or try to stop them from doing so. However, for some reason, this actual game mode, which was a lot of fun, was removed from the game. Why? Who knows? But it has been brought back again. Now, one of the main draws for me to Dirty Bomb was not only was it a good game, but the fact that it was based in London. I'm from London myself, and it was the first time I'd ever seen some of the sites represented within a video game. For example, at the beginning of the Vault map, the action takes place around Bank Station. You don't see the station itself, but it is that particular area, and I used to work there, so it was like really cool to see that represented in a game. And overall, I thought the actual look of the game was a really interesting take on what not so far off in the future London might look like. Unsurprisingly, really seeing as Splash Damage are based here as well. So what happened? After all, this game, not only did it have really satisfying, solid gameplay, it was also free. Yes, you heard me right. Absolutely free, and you can still get it on Steam. So what happened? I don't know, it just turns out you can't really live on a game if you're not making any money out of it. And because Dirty Bomb failed to be financially viable, Splash Damage just closed down development on it, which is a shame really, because at its core, it's one of the finest games I've ever played. That's not to say it didn't have problems. During the beta, I was getting incredibly frustrated at the lack of content. Not because of the actual mercs, they kept pumping mercs out all the time. The thing that annoyed me was the lack of maps. That was one thing that was criminal within Dirty Bomb, just not enough maps, so when they took out the execution mode, the game lost a whole chunk of variety. So then you're left with one mode and a couple of variations and the same handful of maps. Eventually people get bored of playing that same content and they leave. Another frustrating aspect seemed to be that every time a new merc was introduced, the balance of play was completely ruined, at least for a while it was being fine-tuned, and in some cases it was never the same. But bugs and balance issues aside, I think the thing that annoyed me the most about Dirty Bomb wasn't actually Dirty Bomb itself. It was the community, or rather that rather small vocal minority who kept shouting out that the game needed to concentrate on the competitive side of things and how it needed to be competitive and the future was competitive and competitive. Yeah, the game doesn't have the player base for it. Don't get me wrong, I'd love it to have a competitive scene, but it just wasn't viable. However, for a game that should actually be, to all intents and purposes, completely dead and nobody should be playing it, the game is still up and running. Now that has got to be a testament to the strength of its actual core gameplay. It may not be perfect, but it's worth having a go. And even though the servers were supposed to close back in 2019, they're actually still up and running, which is awesome. So please consider this to be a public service announcement telling you to go out and enjoy one of the finest ever games, which was free. Give it a go before the servers do actually close down. I've no idea when that will actually be, but do get involved in the renaissance of possibly one of the finest team-based objective shooters that I've ever played. Download it, give it a go, what have you got to lose? It's certainly not cash, and you can always uninstall if it's hard drive space you're worried about. Okay guys, that's it from me for yet another video. Help me feed the YouTube algorithm by leaving a like and a sub. If there's anything you'd like to see me cover in the future, let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, this is HippCelt signing off.